Well, the role of the students has been quite crucial, I would say. If we look at the history of higher education in Europe, the Bologna University was founded actually by students. So students are, in a way, in my view, the progress factor when it comes to academic communities. They have a very big role, but they only have this role if they are not regarded as clients, we see an increasing tendency all around the world, but if they are regarded as active and equal members of the academic community. So if they are allowed to be involved in decision making, if they are regarded as active participants in the build-up of programs and curricula, then the role becomes crucial. And at the same time, it creates that feeling of ownership that students can have for an academic community. You see that some campuses are extremely united, and you see that the students feel as in a family, and you see other universities that have this alienation feeling from the part of the students that just come to school, stay for 2 hours and then go home and are not involved with trying to make the institution progress in any way. So it is highly dependent on how they are regarded, and it is also highly dependent on the issue of student participation and respecting students' rights. With the whole trend of moving towards student-centered learning, their role will become even higher, because now students more and more are not supposed to just receive knowledge, but to share knowledge. We are moving from just transmission of information to dialogue, to classroom dialogue, and to sharing of information, and to individualized learning paths, which means that every student should be able to adapt the learning path, the academic path, according to its talents and potential. And it is quite important that students are given the choice and the feedback option all throughout their programs, be it bachelor, master, doctorate, and so on. I think that we have a history with UNESCO. We have been involved in the 1998 World Conference, and since then we have been cooperating on a number of areas. UNESCO and ESO have a lot of common aims when it comes to higher education. For example, education for all is a desire that both students and UNESCO have, but also when it comes to the whole humanistic agenda that UNESCO has, we seem to be very much at the same page. In addition to that, UNESCO needs a partner, needs social partners, needs partners from the stakeholder side, and ESO provides this from the European student side, and hence our cooperation was quite good. I would say that especially in the past months, in the preparation of the World Conference, we got even more close, because ESO has been, in cooperation with UNESCO, trying to gather the students from all around the world to have a common student voice towards the World Conference. And thus, we have interacted a lot more, and we have been invited as a member of the program committee for the World Conference. So in this regard, we had a say in the program, in the content of the conference, which was, I think, very fortunate. We regret, though, that there are not a lot of speakers from the part of students. Of course, there are a lot of political pressures in an intergovernmental organization, and we understand that. However, in 1998, student participation was much higher when it comes to students from both NGOs, but also from the national delegations. We see very few delegations that actually have a student invited, and that is quite a pity. And I would say that this is not on the part of UNESCO that made clear that this should be the case, that students should be invited in the national delegations, but rather on the part of the countries. So my call is for more student participation and recognizing students as partners, as countries are claiming more and more that they are tolerant and democratic and inclusive, but that is not the case when you look at the reality on the ground. I think that students, first of all, need to access higher education. So if we want them to become both professionals, but also to develop personally, they have to have access to every level of education. It should not be restricted by financial filters, and we firmly believe that also academic filters are quite unjust for those that come from lower socioeconomic backgrounds or from disadvantaged groups, as not always primary and secondary education gives the same level of preparation to move towards the academic filters. We also think that it requires now a high level of soft skills, so to speak. We need students to be able to be critical. So we need critical thinking, we need problem solving, we need entrepreneurship skills, and also we need to be able to quickly adapt to an ever-changing working market. So in this regard, we feel that universities should be able to provide that for students and not provide very narrow programs that only prepare you for a certain niche subject, but rather that give you a broad preparation and also the capacity to adapt to both societal and also labor market changes. In this regard, we feel that even though massification is here and it is said that it's quite difficult, we need a reshift towards student-centered learning, as said before. If we don't allow students to tailor, so to speak, their own academic path so that it is adapted to their potential, but also to what they see as the future for them, both in the labor market but also as an active citizen, then we will not be able to face the global challenges. And I would say that it's a conglomerate of issues. So it's about new modes of teaching, but it's also about what curricula we are sending. It's about open resources. We shouldn't limit them. We shouldn't make research papers a secret because we want our university to be more competitive, but rather cooperate to have an overall higher level of higher education. Quality is essential here, not only access, because I think that having access for everyone, but a low quality higher education doesn't benefit anyone. And we see this tendency of going in the direction of, yes, we will allow everyone to get in, but in different types of institutions that offer different types of programs. We agree with diversity, but most often this different types of institution means that some students don't have any access to research, for example. And breaching the link between teaching and research is quite unfortunate, as only through bringing into the classroom the latest developments and the latest scientific discoveries you can actually expect students to progress and to adapt to the current level of the knowledge within the world. So curricular reform, we need mobility for students to be able to experience other worlds. We need student-centered learning. We need teaching and research at the same time. We don't have to separate them. And of course, we need access.